For those of you who are new to the channel, you might have not known that my background is I used to own a trucking company. I used to drive for myself. But in my time and spending thousands of miles on the road, I read a lot of books on money, wealth building, investing. I have read, let's say, 50 books on money, and these are the lessons that I'm going to tell you that will make you rich. My name is Adrian, and this is Always Talk Money. Like, subscribe, and become part of the family, and let's get into the video. The first lesson about wealth building that I read from a book was build assets that will make you rich. And this was the key lesson that I took from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. By the way, there's an affiliate link down below on my favorite books on money, and you can hit that link and find all of these books through that link. Robert Kiyosaki in the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad talked about one dad who worked for money and one dad who had assets that made him money. He was talking about real estate, because what you need to understand is when you are working, there's nothing wrong with working. We all have jobs, right? And we all have to start somewhere. But when you are working, you have to understand you only have a finite amount of hours in the day, and time is the one resource that we cannot get back. How do you maximize your earning potential? By separating your time from your money, aka passive income. And it will take time to build up these assets, but over time you will find yourself in a position, if you are consistent, if you are persistent, if you always learn and iterate, you will find yourself in a position where eventually your assets are going to be paying you much more than you can work from your day job. So that's the first lesson that I want to give you from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The second lesson that I learned from all these books that I read was to live below your means and save consistently. And this is one of the key principles of the book The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley. And this is one of the books that actually blew my mind, where you found out like the ordinary and average millionaire is not what you think. It's not the people who are flashy on the internet. It's not the people who are on TV. It's not the people who have gaudy possessions, because a lot of times those people are living off of credit, loans, mortgages, and so on and so forth. But The Millionaire Next Door teaches the principle of living below your means, which means have a modest house, a modest car, save and invest, and that way eventually you will become a millionaire. And I think this is a great lesson, because a lot of young people today think that wealth is flashy, it's gaudy possessions, and it's just showing money everywhere you go. That's not what most millionaires look like, and if you walked by a millionaire today, you probably wouldn't even know it. The third lesson that I read in business books and books about money that I think is one of my favorites, and is to think positively and visualize your wealth. And this is from the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This is by far probably my favorite book on money and business, because I'm a thinker. I like to visualize my success. I like to live somewhat into the future, but also while living in the moment. But I like to know where I'm going and where I'm going to be. That motivates me to keep on the process. If you never see yourself being successful, if you never see yourself having that dream job or that dream house or that dream car, and even that dream life just in general, then you will never get it. A lot of your success starts with visualization. You have to feel it in your bones. Every morning when you wake up, you have to see it to believe it. Why is that important? It's not just some psychology mumbo jumbo stuff. What it is that when you visualize something, let's say you visualize yourself getting 100 on a test, what's that going to do in real time is it's going to cause you to be like, okay, I'm going to get 100 on this test. So what are the steps that I need to take to get 100 on this test? You need to study. You need to review your notes. You need to take better notes. And all of that adds up to the future where you are getting 100 on that test. So if you want to visualize yourself being financially independent, you then have to start with the end, which is financial independence, and then reverse engineer that so that you take the steps to be financially independent. And that's saving, investing, being consistent with your goals, your money goals, starting a business or a side hustle. By the way, in a link down below, if you want an investing guide and the ETFs that I use, check the link down below, as well as sign up for our free weekly newsletter that comes out every single Friday, and leave a like on the video if it's giving you value so far, and hit subscribe. The next lesson that I learned from all of the books on money that I read, and it's a book by Benjamin Graham called it Intelligent Investor, and it says invest in the stock market for the long term. A lot of times people think get rich is a quick thing. That's why you have get rich quick schemes. That's why you have snake oil salesmen. And those are scammers and fraudsters and grifters and so on and so forth that will tell you that, oh, I can flip money for you and give you 30% returns, 50% returns. And you see it all over the place. You see it with the FTX scandal, a lot of other crypto scandals, NFT scandals, pump and dump, all of this type of things. Listen, investing is slow and steady. Look at Warren Buffett, look at Charlie Munger, look at even Dave Ramsey. They all say the same thing. And I say the same thing if you have watched any of my videos or gone to my website, alwaysthoughtmoney.com. But you have to understand that investing is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And then compound interest will then snowball your investments over time. So dollar cost average, do your due diligence on the investments that you want. Do not invest in things you don't understand and just sit and wait. That is one of the best lessons. It's boring, but a lot of people ignore it. That's why a lot of people will never be rich. Now, the next book I want to mention is The Smart Way to Passive Income and Aggressive Retirement by Rachel Richards. And in this book, she talks about creating multiple sources of income, which is very important. Just like you have to focus on passive income, you have to focus on multiple sources of passive income. Speaking from experience, I have a YouTube channel, I have a blog, I have my newsletter, I have my consulting work, as well as my other businesses and investments into the market. And just there alone, I have more than 5 sources where I can draw income from. And you can do the same. Take what you are interested in. You don't even have to quit your day job or anything like that. Take what you are interested in and find a way to monetize it. So then you can have your day job. Then within your day job, you can have your 401k. And then within that, some companies will give you company shares and stock and ownership in the company after you've worked for a specific period of time, as well as you can create a side hustle. And then that side hustle, you can use that to funnel into real estate or into stocks. And just like that, anybody can have up to 5 sources of income. So if you want to achieve financial independence and retire early, or even just retire comfortably, you have to have multiple buckets where you can draw income from. And that's a great lesson that I want to share from that book. Now, next, I want to talk about The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. And he talks about paying yourself first. And what does that mean? It means that most Americans, when they get their paycheck, they pay bills, they pay debt, they spend money on food, clothing. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do any of that, but where's the money for savings? Where's the money for retirement? Where's the money for investing in your side hustle? You have to pay yourself first. Why is this important? Because we are getting older. There's nothing we can do about that, right? And as you get older, you have less energy, your body's gonna break down, and you're just simply not gonna have the time or patience or even just the physical capability to go out and earn money in a day job. So you have to pay yourself first, pay your future self first. That way, that when you reach to the end of life, when you wanna settle down, when you wanna be less busy and less on the go, because I promise you, Father Time is undefeated. You hear they say that in sports all the time, but it applies to regular people as well. So you have to set yourself up where the 60-year-old version of you, the 70-year-old version of you is safe and secure as it comes to your finances. You don't want your kids to just stick you into a retirement home or just be relying on Social Security, because we all know Social Security, even if it's around by the time we get older, if you're around my age, you are not going to survive off of Social Security. So take care of yourself. Pay yourself first. I cannot stress that enough. For all the people out there that are corporate, that have 9-to-5 jobs, the next lesson I'm going to teach is for you, and that is to negotiate your salary at all times. And this is one of the key principles of the book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. I hope I didn't butcher that name. But when you are in the corporate world, there's a lot of corporate politics and so on and so forth. But you have to understand, every company, most likely they have a budget, and they have a budget in terms of overhead. And what's overhead? That's the building costs, that's the utilities, but also that's employee salaries, employee benefits packages. And so for you, you need to negotiate with those companies. You need to have the self-confidence and the self-belief in yourself to know that, hey, I can get either more money, either more perks. Maybe you want to work from home. Maybe you want to work hybrid. Maybe you just want to work in a whole different location, right? So all of these things most likely can be negotiated. Why is that important? Because a part of financial independence is about lifestyle design. We don't want to get rich just to get rich. We want to get rich so we can do the things that we want to do. So if you can negotiate your salary in terms of where you want to live and afford more, if you can negotiate your benefits package where you get more company stock, which will pay you in the future, that will be great. Or just negotiate your salary in terms of how much time off you get, whether you are getting hybrid, sick time. All of these things are dollars and cents that you cannot afford to leave on the table. I have so many notes here from so many business and personal finance books that I have read over the years, but I'm going to give you one more, and that is to change your mindset about money. And this is a lesson from The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. I love this point. I love this lesson. Just like I told you earlier that from the book Think and Grow Rich, visualizing your success, visualizing your financial independence, I was very much thinking that is one of my favorite things that I've ever read in a book. I also like the fact that changing your mindset about money is a part of that. So those are kind of related principles about money. Why is this important? Because a lot of us come from humble beginnings. We probably come from families that have never been wealthy. And that's not just a guess. The numbers say it. There's the 99% and then there's the 1%. And if you're watching this video, more than likely 99 times out of 100 you are a part of the 99%. So how do you get to the 1%? Well, a big part of it is mindset, and I say that all the time, but I truly believe in this principle, because if you think about it, everybody can add, subtract, divide. We all know how to count money. So what is the difference between the people who have money and the people who don't have money? A lot of times is mindset. So that is a very important lesson from one of the books that I've read about money. As I said, links in the description down below to check that out. Hit the QR code right here if you're watching this on TV. Go to alwaystopmoney.com. We have blogs, we have ebooks, we have all types of resources that will help you in your personal finance journey. Please like, please subscribe, please come back and become part of the family. We love to have you here. Let me know in the comments down below which lesson resonated with you the most. My name is Adrian. This is Always Top Money, and until next time, I will see you. Peace.